My beloved child, I brought you here for a reason. You did not arrive at this moment by accident. I called you, and something deep inside you answered my voice. The miracle you have been praying for in the quiet moments, the one you cried over when no one else knew, has already been released from heaven. It already bears your name. It already knows where to find you. That is why I brought you here today, so you could hear this truth directly from me. Do not leave yet. Stay with me a little longer. What I am about to place in your heart can change everything. I know your pain completely. I have seen every tear you thought no one noticed. I heard every prayer you whispered, when you had no strength left except to breathe my name. I was with you during those long nights when you lay awake wondering if I still saw you. I was there then, and I have never left your side. Today I tell you clearly, your waiting season is changing. What once seemed far away is now much closer than you have allowed yourself to believe. I know there were nights when you wondered if I truly heard you. If your silent cries ever reached me, let me answer you now. Every single one reached my heart. I have not missed one sigh. I have not ignored one sleepless night. I have not overlooked a single moment when you carried burdens that were never meant for you to carry alone. I have seen all of it. I know its full weight, and I have never been indifferent. You are deeply precious to me in ways human words cannot fully describe. Declare your amen if you have faith. Your miracle is not based on how perfectly you prayed. It is not measured by how many hours you spent on your knees, or whether your faith never wavered. It rests on my grace. My grace is greater than every failure you have ever known. It reached for you before you even thought to reach for me. Before you ever called my name, I had already written yours upon my hands. You belong to me. You have always belonged to me, and no failure, no distance, no darkness, and no enemy can take you away from me. The enemy has tried to make you believe something different. He has whispered that you have gone too far, that the distance between us cannot be crossed, that what is broken inside you is beyond my healing. Those words were never true. He speaks lies because he knows the truth he hopes you never discover. The day you truly understand my grace, his hold over your life will be broken. I have watched you trying to carry everything by yourself. I saw the sleepless nights, the heavy burdens on your shoulders, and the effort it took just to keep moving when everything inside you wanted to stop. I saw you rise when it would have been easier to stay down. I watched you keep walking when giving up seemed like the easier choice. That required real strength. But hear me now. You were never meant to carry life by yourself. I created you to walk beside me, to let me carry what is too heavy for you, and to lean on my strength whenever yours runs out. Your strength has limits. Mine never does. Your resources may come to an end. Mine never will. Your understanding has boundaries. Mine has none. I want to give freely to you from everything that belongs to me, because that is what a loving father does for the child he loves. Do you remember being afraid of the dark when you were young? Do you remember how every fear disappeared the moment someone who loved you held you close? I am your heavenly Father. My arms are open to you right now. It does not matter what you have done, how far you wandered, or how long it has been since you felt close to me. My arms have never moved away. My love has never grown weaker. Every morning I have been waiting for you, ready to embrace you the moment you turn toward me. My love has never depended on your performance. You did not earn it by your faithfulness, and you cannot lose it through your failures. It simply is, and it always has been. Before you took your first breath, before you had done anything at all, I loved you with all that I am. That love did not change on your hardest day. It did not turn away during your darkest season. It stayed with you, patiently waiting for the moment you would return to me. Say, I believe. If these words are reaching your heart, then understand this clearly. What you are living through today is not the final chapter of your story. It is nowhere near the end. I am the God of fresh beginnings. I am the God who takes what the enemy meant for your destruction and turns it into a testimony that brings glory. I am the God who creates something far more beautiful from broken pieces than what existed before. Not a repaired version of the past, but something completely new. You are looking at your life as it is today. I am looking at what it is about to become. Those are not the same picture. What felt like delay was never rejection. I was working where your eyes could not see. While you were waiting, I was arranging people, timing, and every circumstance into its proper place. Not one day of waiting was wasted. Not one tear lost its value. Not one painful night was without purpose. I use everything. I waste nothing. Every season you have walked through, especially the painful ones, has been woven together by my hand into something that will amaze you. Stop measuring my power by the size of the problem in front of you. What seems impossible to you has never been impossible to me. What looks like a wall with no way through still has a door that I already see. I am the God who opened the sea when there was no path. I am the God who gave life where everything appeared dead. I am the God who used a young shepherd with only a stone and a sling to bring down the giant that an entire army feared. That same God is with you now, fully present, fully involved, working for your good. Remember Joseph, his own brothers sold him. He was falsely accused and spent years in prison though he had done nothing wrong. Every door seemed closed. Every hope appeared delayed. Every day looked like the end. But every day inside that prison was preparing him for a palace. Every injustice shaped the heart of the man who would one day stand before kings. What others intended to destroy him became the very road that carried him into his purpose. He could not see it while he was inside the prison, but I saw it from the very beginning. That is exactly what I have been doing in your life. Every difficult season has been preparing you. Every closed door has been pointing toward the right one. Every person who walked away created space for someone I have chosen to bring. Every answer of no protected you from what would have kept you from the yes I had already prepared. You could not see the design while you were living through it. I have seen it from the beginning, and it is more beautiful than you can yet imagine. Now let me speak to you about time, about the space between your prayer and the answer. I know that this space has tested your heart. You prayed for something and hoped to see the answer right away. You asked for a miracle and expected it to appear the very next day. Over time you became wary of waiting, and you started wondering if the waiting itself meant the answer would never come. It was never a no. It has never been a no. Whenever I ask you to wait, it is never because I forgot you. It is because I am preparing both you and the blessing together. What I am giving you now needs the person you have become through this journey. If I had placed it into your hands the first time you asked, you would not have been ready to carry it with wisdom. The waiting increased your capacity. The hardships gave you depth. Every trial refined what was already inside you. What remains is something truly valuable. I think beyond one lifetime. I work across generations. I am not only answering today's need. I am laying a foundation your children and your children's children will one day stand upon. When I take time, it is because what I am building is meant to remain long after your own days on earth. Now that season of preparation has reached its end. Everything I have been arranging where no one could see is ready to appear where everyone can. Your moment has come. Not next year, not after another requirement is met. Right now, in this very breath, in this place of surrender, there is another truth the enemy has tried to keep from you. It is about the true nature of faith. He has tried to convince you that faith simply waits without moving, that it quietly hopes while expecting everything to happen from somewhere outside. But true faith is alive. It moves. It speaks. It reaches for what already belongs to it. True faith does not beg. True faith stands on my promise and says, "This belongs to me because my Father has spoken." That kind of faith moves mountains. That kind of faith opens what has been shut. That kind of faith refuses to accept lasting defeat because it knows my word is final, and my word always brings life. I want that faith to rise inside you. Stop speaking about your problems as though they are writing your future. Your problems are not the final voice. I am. And what I have spoken over your life is victory, healing, abundance, and purpose. Speak those truths, not because your words make them true. They are already true. Speak them because your words bring your heart into agreement with what I have already done for you. Your words matter. They shape the atmosphere around you. What you choose to magnify becomes greater in your thoughts and in your experience. Stop making the enemy seem big while making me seem small. Lift your eyes to me. Let my greatness fill your heart until fear has no place to stay and doubt finds nowhere to remain. I am greater than every problem before you. I am stronger than every force that has risen against you. I am more faithful than the longest delay has tried to make you believe. Where you stand today is not the end of your story. This place is not your destination. I know your journey from beginning to end, because I stood at the beginning and I already stand at the end. What is waiting beyond this season is worth every step you have taken through the darkness to reach it. My precious child, I am inviting you to take a step right now. Not because I need something from you, but because faith that remains only in your thoughts never fully becomes part of your life. I am asking you to make your trust visible through something real. Release a portion of what you have. Sow it as a seed into this work. Remember the widow of Zarephath. She placed her last handful of flour before she ever saw any sign of provision. By human thinking it made no sense, yet she trusted me. The flour never ran out. The oil never failed. Day after day and week after week I continued to provide. That is the principle of the seed. What you release in trust, I return with increase. So place your seed into what I am doing here, and watch carefully what I will do next in your own life. Now let me remind you of who I truly am, because the enemy has painted a false picture of me, and I want to replace it with truth. He has tried to make you believe I am distant, that I simply give commands and stand far away watching to see whether you succeed, that I spend more time disappointed in you than pleased with you, that my love depends on your performance. That is not who I am. I am your father, not a judge searching for reasons to condemn you. I see you completely. I know everything about you. And I love you without conditions or limits. My love does not disappear when you fail. It does not become weaker when you struggle with doubt. It does not move away when you are at your lowest. It remains steady, faithful, and unchanging because that is who I am. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. My promises never expire. My word does not change with the seasons. Everything I spoke over your life before you were formed in secret is still being spoken today. Every promise still stands. None of them have been withdrawn. The plans I made for you, plans filled with hope and a future, were never careless plans. I have carried them through every detour, every mistake, and every season that looked completely wrong. Now hear this clearly. I have never required perfection from you. I never asked for it. I do not need you to fix everything before I bless you. I ask for one thing. Trust. Surrender. A heart that says I cannot do this alone anymore, and I choose to trust you. That kind of surrender is not weakness. It is true strength. Because when you stop trying to carry everything yourself, I step fully into the place only I can fill. And when I move, nothing remains impossible. You have been carrying burdens that never belonged to you. The expectations of other people. Fear about tomorrow. Questions about whether you are enough. The belief that if you stop striving everything will fall apart. Listen carefully. The things that truly belong to me in your life will never fall apart because you stop gripping them with all your strength. They were never being held together by your effort. They have always been held by my hand, and they still are. So choose to rest. Not a lazy rest, but the active choice to trust me enough to stop carrying what I never asked you to carry. That rest is available to you today, not after every problem has been solved. Right now, while many things are still unfinished, because my peace does not wait until the storm ends. I give it to you while the storm is still around you. That is what makes my peace different from anything this world can offer. The world offers peace only after situations improve. But the peace I give remains firm even while everything around you is still changing, because it does not depend on circumstances. It depends on who I am. I see the dreams you quietly laid aside. The ones you hid because you were afraid of being hurt again. The hopes you stopped speaking about, because it became too painful to keep waiting for something that had not yet arrived. I placed those dreams inside your heart. Not to mock you, not to fill you with impossible desires, but to point you toward the life I created for you. Those dreams are not gone. They have not been lost forever. They have simply been waiting. And that waiting is almost finished. When I bring them into your life, and you will understand why everything happened in its proper time. You will see that I was never holding good things back from you. I was preparing you so you could fully receive everything I had planned. I never place gifts into your hands before you are ready to carry them well. And today you are ready in ways you were not before. The waiting was never cruelty. It was kindness. Painful kindness, but kindness all the same. Now let me show you what the enemy has been doing. He has worked hard to confuse you about your true identity. For years he has used voices that told you that you were not enough, that you were too damaged, that your past could never be erased, and that the life you hoped for was meant for others instead of you. Those thoughts were never random. They were aimed directly at the truth. The enemy knows that once you fully understand who you are, his hold over your life will come to an end. Your identity is not built on what you have done or failed to do. It does not come from what people have spoken about you. It is not based on your victories or your mistakes or the chapters you wish you could erase. Your true identity was decided by me before you were ever born. And this is what I declared. You are my child. My spirit lives within you. You are a vessel of the living God. You carry authority. You carry power. You have an inheritance in my kingdom that reaches far beyond what your natural eyes can see. The attacks became stronger, because what I prepared for you is great. The enemy fights the hardest when breakthrough is near. His greatest resistance often comes just before the change arrives. The pressure you have felt is not proof that you are failing. It is a sign that victory is drawing close. Do not give up now. Do not release your trust just as I am preparing to move for you. I also want you to understand how I work, because I do not always move in the way you expect. You may already have imagined exactly how your miracle should come, through a certain person, a certain event, or a certain moment. Many of my children miss what I am doing, because they expect one picture while I choose another. Keep your heart open. Listen carefully for my voice. Pay attention to what I place before you even when it appears ordinary. I work through people. I work through conversations that seem simple, but were carefully arranged. I work through unexpected opportunities, through ideas that come at surprising moments, and through what people call coincidence. I am present in every detail. I am in those moments when everything comes together in ways no human hand could have arranged. Learn to recognize me there. When you do, anxiety begins to lose its hold. Your need to control every outcome starts to disappear. You begin to rest, truly rest, knowing that your Father is taking care of everything. State, I trust, if you believe this belongs to your life today. Now I want to speak about something you may have stopped praying for. Something you quietly placed aside because asking had become too painful. Perhaps you convinced yourself it was never meant for you. Perhaps you believed you misunderstood what I had spoken. Perhaps you decided hope was simply too costly. Listen carefully. You did not misunderstand. I have not forgotten a single request you placed before me in faith. Not one. I still hold every one of them, and many of those answers are much closer than you realize. You ask for healing. Healing belongs to you. You ask for provision when nothing seemed to add up. Provision is already moving toward you. You asked for restoration where everything looked beyond repair. Nothing is beyond my power to restore. You asked for a path forward when every road appeared closed. I am the God who makes roads through the wilderness, rivers through the desert, and doors where there seem to be only walls. Nothing standing before you is too great for me. Not the burden that keeps you awake at night. Not the situation that has lasted for years. Not the body that still waits for healing. Not the finances that seem impossible to recover. To you it may look like a mountain that cannot move. To me it moves with a single word. To you it may look like a sea that cannot be crossed. I walk through it beside you. These are not just beautiful words. This is simply who I am. The miracle I am bringing into your life is not only meant to solve one problem. It is meant to reveal my true heart to you. I am not a distant God living far away. I am here with you. Close enough to be known. Close enough to walk beside you. Close enough to carry the full weight you have been holding for far too long. I do not want you to come to me only when everything falls apart. I want to walk with you every day. Tell me about your joy as well as your pain. Share your dreams with me, not only your struggles. Invite me into your plans, not only your emergencies. I want to be part of every part of your life. Not only the difficult moments. I created you to live close to me. Before anything was broken, before separation entered the world, there was perfect closeness between us. That is what I am restoring. Not only your circumstances, but your relationship with me, because everything good flows from that place. Every blessing begins with walking closely beside me. You are not the same person who entered this difficult season. You now carry wisdom that could not have come any other way. You have a depth that comfort alone could never produce. Your faith has been tested in real fire, and faith proven by fire carries an authority that borrowed faith never can. Do not feel ashamed of what you have lived through. Those chapters are not your disgrace. They are part of your testimony. They allow you to speak hope into the lives of people who are still walking through what I already brought you out of. Declare, I receive this today. If your heart is open, know this. Your miracle is not meant for you alone. Everything I do has a greater purpose. I bless one life so that blessing can reach many others. I raised David so a nation could be led. I lifted Joseph so a generation could be fed. I positioned Esther so an entire people could be saved. In the same way, I am lifting you so that your life will serve something greater than your own need. You will become a voice of real hope for someone who has almost lost theirs. You will become living proof that I still move. I still heal. I still restore. And I still make a way where no road ever existed before. Your story will carry real power because it is true. Because you walked through the darkness before you stepped into the light. Because you know what it is like to wait, to question, and to come close to giving up. Yet you kept moving forward. That kind of testimony does more than encourage people. It awakens faith inside them. When you speak from that place, something stirs deep within the hearts of those who hear you. Now let me bring you to the truth the enemy has tried hardest to hide from you. It is the truth about your identity, about who you truly are. For many years he has tried to place a false image of yourself inside your mind. He has used the words of people who never knew your whole story. He has used your mistakes and the shame that followed them. He has used rejection and disappointment. Every attack had the same purpose, to convince you that you are insignificant, that you carry nothing important, that greater things belong to someone else. But listen to me now. You are not insignificant. You are not ordinary in the way the enemy has tried to convince you. You are my child. My spirit lives within you. You are a vessel of the living God. That means you carry authority that cannot be measured by human eyes. The enemy knows what you carry. That is exactly why he has worked so hard to make you forget it. Your miracle is more than changed circumstances. It is a transformed identity. It is leaving behind the life of a victim and walking as one who overcomes. It is no longer living like an orphan, but living as a child who truly knows their father. It is no longer reaching for scraps but taking your place at the table that was prepared for you. Many of my children live far below the life I planned for them. Not because I kept it from them, but because they accepted an identity that was never true. They live like visitors inside a house that already belongs to them. You are not a visitor. You are not standing outside looking in. You are the child for whom the table was prepared. Your inheritance has been waiting for you. The blessing already bears your name. Walk in that truth. Not with pride, but with the quiet confidence of someone who knows who their father is, and knows how deeply they are loved. I call you valuable. I call you chosen. I say you are able to do far more than you have believed. I delight in you. When you begin believing what I say about you instead of what the enemy whispered into your mind, everything begins to change. The way you walk changes. The way you speak changes. The way you expect changes because you stop living as one defeated and begin living as one who has an inheritance. Not everyone receives this kind of calling. You do. I set you apart before you ever entered this world. The road you have walked was never meaningless suffering. It was shaping you. It was preparing you. You now carry wisdom that cannot be learned in books. You carry compassion that grew from real pain. You carry authority that was formed through genuine testing. Together those things make you someone through whom I can work with great power. The people I have prepared for your life are already moving toward you. The opportunities I have opened are already unfolding. The provision is already on its way. The peace I am bringing over your home is closer than you realize. You will not have to force these things into existence. They will come as the natural result of a life surrendered to me. That is how my abundance always flows. It comes through trust, not through striving. I want you to enlarge what you believe I am able to do. Not because of selfish desire, but because too many of my children settle for far less than what I planned for them. Disappointment has trained them to expect little. Pain has taught them to keep their hopes small so future hurts will not seem so painful. I understand why they feel that way. But today I am asking you to believe again. Not in your own strength to keep holding on, but in my power to fulfill every promise. Those are completely different foundations. I am the God who spoke galaxies into existence. I am the God who breathed life into dust and made mankind alive. I am the God who holds every ocean in the palm of my hand. And that same power is working for you at this very moment. Your problem has never been too great for me. It never will be. Your words hold more influence than you realize. What you speak shapes the atmosphere around your life. Stop speaking only what your eyes can see, and begin speaking what I have already declared. Stop talking about your problems as though they will last forever. Begin declaring my promises because from my perspective they already belong to you. Stop making the enemy appear greater than he is, while making me seem smaller in your thoughts. Lift your eyes to my greatness. Let it fill your heart until fear has nowhere to settle and doubt has no place to remain. The change I am bringing into your life always begins within you before it becomes visible around you. That is how I work. And that work has already begun. Even now, while these words reach your heart, something is changing. Your faith is becoming stronger. Your hope is rising again. Confidence is replacing uncertainty. That is not the end of your miracle. It is the beginning. My beloved, I also want to speak about the people who wounded you. The ones who walked away when they should have stayed. The ones who spoke lies over your life that you carried much longer than you should have. The ones who misused your trust. I know every one of them. I know every name. Listen carefully. The bitterness you carry is a burden I never intended for you to hold. It does not imprison them. It only weighs down your own heart, and I never created you to live beneath that burden. I am not asking you to pretend their actions were acceptable. They were not. I am asking you to place their debt into my hands. Let me deal with it. When you release it, something inside you begins to open. Something that has been tightly closed for a long time starts to breathe again. And in that place I can plant something far greater than bitterness ever could. You were never created simply to survive. You were made to truly live. A life filled with meaning, purpose, and a deep joy that remains steady no matter what happens around you. That life is not hidden somewhere beyond your reach. It is the life I am already leading you toward. I have prepared relationships for you unlike any you have known before. Friendships filled with genuine depth. People who will recognize what I placed inside you and help it grow instead of holding it back. A true sense of belonging you may have thought you would never experience. They are coming. Some are already very near. And when they arrive, you will recognize them because they will carry the unmistakable piece of something I personally arranged. I have already prepared opportunities that match exactly who I created you to be. They are not random chances. They are carefully prepared moments. Doors shaped for your calling the same way a key is made for one lock. When those doors appear, they will not feel forced. They will feel right. They will feel like you have finally stepped into what you were created to do. Because that is exactly what will be happening. Now let me speak to you about one of the principles of my kingdom. The principle of sowing and harvesting. When you understand it, you will never look at your giving the same way again. And you will understand every act of giving I am leading you toward. Whatever you sow, you will also reap. This is not just a spiritual saying. It is a true kingdom principle that works as faithfully as the laws I placed within creation. When you sow generosity, abundance follows. When you sow love, love comes back increased. When you remain faithful in little things, greater responsibility is entrusted to you. This principle does not fail because I established it. And I have watched every seed you planted. I saw you give when you had very little yourself. I saw you share with those who had even less. I saw you offer your strength and your time when you already felt exhausted. I saw every quiet act of kindness you gave when no one else noticed. Those seeds were never lost. Nothing planted in my ground dies. Every seed waits beneath the surface. It grows where human eyes cannot see until the right season comes, and then it rises. Your harvest is beginning to rise now. Not little by little, but with the abundance that only I can release. I do not pour out blessings in tiny amounts. When I stretch out my hand over a faithful life, I give generously. The seeds you planted through years of trusting me are about to return in ways far greater than what you first placed into the ground. That is my promise because that is who I am. And what I am pouring into your life is not meant to stop with you. I always think beyond one generation. I bless one life so many others can be blessed. I raised Joseph so an entire nation could be fed. I blessed Abraham so every family on the earth could receive through him. When I lift you up, the blessing will continue through you. It will reach your children, the people I place around you, and generations still to come who will stand on the foundation your faithfulness is building today. Your obedience in this season is creating something that will remain long after your own lifetime. Every decision you make to trust me, every choice to keep moving forward, every refusal to quit is doing more than shaping your own story. It is shaping the generations that will come after you. Those choices matter more than you realize. Now let me speak to the tiredness inside you. The deep kind of weariness that comes from carrying burdens for many years. The kind that grows from endless battles, repeated disappointments, and choosing hope again after hope has been wounded. The kind that comes from standing back up so many times that rising became the only thing you knew. I see every part of that exhaustion. I know exactly how heavy it feels. And I am not watching from far away. Your pain reaches my heart. You matter deeply to me. The fact that you continued trusting me even while you were worn out, that you are still seeking me, still reaching toward me when every step felt costly, is precious in my eyes. That kind of faith is rare, and I know exactly how to use it. But I never intended for you to keep living empty. I want to refill everything that has been drained. I want to restore everything those long seasons took from you. I want to give back more than the miracle you have been waiting to see. I want to restore your strength, your joy, and the freedom that comes when heavy burdens finally leave. I want you to laugh again without forcing it. I want you to hope again without expecting disappointment. These gifts belong to you, and I am bringing them into your life. I am also sending people. I know that much of your loneliness came from believing no one truly understood what you carried. You felt you had to hide the deepest parts because they seemed too heavy for anyone else. I know that feeling well, and I want you to hear this. I am sending someone who will understand, someone who has walked a similar road, someone who will recognize your pain without turning away. The loneliness created by those difficult seasons is not your future. Real community is coming. Honest, safe, lasting relationships where you no longer need to pretend. A place where you can simply be yourself and be fully known. Do not close your heart because others disappointed you before. My faithfulness is not limited by the failures of people. What others could not give you, I can provide through the people I have chosen especially for your life. Keep your heart open. Not without wisdom, but open enough to receive what I am sending. You were never created to carry life alone. I made you for relationship with me, and with others who carry my spirit. Both are being restored in your life now. The walls you built to protect yourself from more pain are beginning to come down. Not suddenly, but gently. One stone at a time. I know how long it took those walls to form, and I will handle your heart with care as they come down. Trust me with this as well. Trust me with your tender places. Trust me with the parts of your story you have hidden away. Trust me with the hopes you hardly dare to believe anymore. You can safely place all of it into my hands. I have always been faithful. And through this season you will discover my faithfulness more deeply than ever before. There is a freedom waiting beyond your surrender that you have not experienced in a very long time. A peace that comes when you stop trying to control every outcome and begin trusting the one who already holds them all. I am not asking you to stop thinking wisely or using the abilities I placed within you. I am asking you to stop trying to use them apart from me. Stop carrying everything by yourself when your Father is standing beside you, ready to walk with you in every part of it. Bring your plans to me. Bring your questions to me. Bring every decision before you make it, and bring it again afterward when things do not happen as you expected. Share your ordinary joys with me, not only your desperate prayers. Let me become part of every part of your daily life, instead of only the moments when everything feels like it is falling apart. Because that is the relationship I desire with you. Not a God you remember only in emergencies, but the God who walks beside you every day, the quiet and faithful presence holding every moment of your life. That is what I am giving you today. Not only a miracle, me all that I am, for all that you are, and everything that comes from that is greater than anything you have imagined so far. Let me leave this final truth deep within your heart. You came to this moment carrying something, a heavy burden, a question that would not leave your mind, a hope that had been wounded but never completely died. You came with the faith that remained after everything tried to destroy it. And that remaining faith, that small but steady flame that never went out, is what I respond to. That is all I was looking for. Not great faith, only faith like a mustard seed. And you already have much more than that. You carry the kind of faith that survived a road many people would have walked away from. That faith is not weak. It is uncommon. It is strong, and I move for those who trust me in that way. Now let me tell you about what is ahead. Not with unclear words, with clear ones. Because I want you to understand what you are entering. The confusion that filled your thoughts is passing away. The haze that kept you from seeing your next step is disappearing. You will begin to hear my voice more clearly than ever before. Not because I have started speaking louder, because your spirit is learning to hear. The noise around you is becoming quieter, and in that stillness my voice will be easy to recognize. The closed doors are opening. Not only one. Many things that once seemed forever blocked are opening before you now. Some of them you stopped expecting. Some of them surprise even you because hope was still alive inside your heart. But I remembered every one of them. And I have been working on every one. The right time is coming together. The season is ready. Things are about to change. The people I am removing from your journey were slowing you down, even when you could not fully see it. The people I am bringing are chosen for the person you are becoming. You will know them. You will sense the peace I placed within those relationships. They will not seem like accidents. They will feel like answered prayers, because that is exactly what they are. The provision you have been waiting for is already on its way. Some of it will come in ways you never expected. Keep your eyes open. Keep your spirit alert. What I send does not always arrive in the form you imagined. But when it comes, you will know. Something inside you will recognize my hand behind it. And through every blessing, every open door, every answered prayer, every restored relationship, and every gift I provide, keep your heart turned toward me. Let every blessing increase your thankfulness, instead of your dependence on yourself. Let every miracle remind you of the one who gave it, because that is the pattern of the life I bless. Receive. Give thanks. Pour into others. Then receive again. My goodness continues to flow through the life that is fully surrendered to me. That is the life you are entering. Not a life without trials. Not a life without challenges. But a life that is steady, meaningful, complete, and full of joy in a way you have not experienced for a long time. And it begins here. It begins now. It begins with your yes. The road before you is becoming clear. Not all at once. I do not reveal every step together because it would be too much for you. But I always show you the next step. And after you take it, I will reveal the one after that. That is how I lead you. One faithful step at a time. Always near enough to guide you. Always close enough to hold you when you stumble. Everything I have promised you, I will fulfill. Every word I have spoken over your life remains true, and is still waiting for you. Every tear you planted will produce a harvest of joy, far greater than the pain it cost you. Every dark night was preparing the way for your breakthrough. The morning has arrived. Not a morning that fades away. A new day that remains. Go forward from this moment knowing you are never walking by yourself. You never were. And you never will be. The love that stayed with you through every closed door, and every season of waiting is already walking ahead of you. It is making your path straight. Preparing what you have not yet seen. Opening doors you never even knew to ask for. I hold you. I see you. I delight in you. And what I have started in your life, I will finish completely and beautifully. This is not only a hope. It is my word. And my word never returns without fulfilling its purpose. Say yes if you are ready to move forward. We run on viewer support only. For exclusive member-only content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you.